Hey everybody, it's Vic. Doing this little pre-recorded interview segment because I want to talk about something that, if I was still in Massachusetts, I'd be getting ready for National Nursing Home Week. Of course, now I'm in Central Florida and don't perform at nursing homes full time anymore like I once did. I only do it part time. But of course, we're also in the middle of this pandemic and lockdown now, so that kind of defeats that. However, back in the day, I used to participate in National Nursing Home Week. That's when they take the week of Mother's Day and celebrate nursing homes with themed events and themed entertainment. So it was kind of a custom made idea for me because all of my entertainment offerings have always been themed. And every so often, a National Nursing Home Week theme might come along that didn't exactly fit in with what I did, but I was flexible enough to be able to tailor my show to what they had. But I'm proud to say that 9 out of 10 times it fit one of my show offerings because, as a lot of you know, I had a lot of different types of shows. Give you an example. One time they had Cruise Week. I remember it was like a cruise ship, and they said that every day the dining room or whatever room they had the entertainment in was the cruise ship, and every day was a different destination. And on one particular day in Attleboro, Massachusetts, at the Life Care Center, they said, "And now we're gonna pop over to this port, and we're gonna see Elvis." And boom, here I come, the jumpsuit, baby. Thank you very much. Blah blah blah, and did all my thing. There was another year where the theme was "It's a Small World," so I did some Disney stuff. Now, admittedly, not every facility stuck to the blueprint, so to speak. Sometimes they would do their own thing. There was another time where it was Fiesta Week, so I did like something with a little bit of a Latin flavor, basically La Bamba, Ricky Martin, and Freddie Fender in a mixed bag with some other stuff. That's about as Spanish as I get. And then we there was another time where they just decided that they were going to do like a golden age of rock and roll week, so that fits in with Elvis. So I mean, quite oftentimes, what I did would fit in with the theme of National Nursing Home Week, and then some places wouldn't go with the national theme, and they would do their own. Which was that was fine because we could always figure something out. Basically, my water's watering up now for some reason. Whew, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, some memories now, some specific memories of National Nursing Home Week. The funny thing about it was it would take me far and wide, literally. 80% of the time would be in my car going from show to show before I get to go home again. And this would be starting out on a Monday morning. I never did Sunday. I never did Mother's Day because that was a day to see my mother before she moved to California. But even after that, I still didn't do Mother's Day anyway. So my week would start on Monday. And I can remember specifically that typically Monday morning, the 10 a.m. show would typically be at my Namaska Healthcare in Middleborough. I couldn't think of the name of it for a moment, which was one of my longest running accounts. That was one of the places I played since the late 90s. I played there for a long time, almost 10 years. So, well, actually, no, more than 10 years. Because you figure 99 to, yeah, it was 99 I started playing there. So, yeah, actually, we're talking about 16 years I played there. So they would typically be the starting block at 10 a.m. And then I would do a 2 p.m. show somewhere else in Massachusetts. And then later on, starting in 2014, sometimes I'd even go off to Rhode Island someplace. And strangely enough, and I was talking about this with a friend recently, that strangely enough, the week always seemed to culminate on Saturday afternoon at the Taunton Nursing Home, which at the time was 5 minutes away from where I lived. So I found it funny how the starting and ending points seemed to always be the same every year. It was all the places in the middle where we would vary things up and go to different places. I can remember going to such places as Golden Living Oak Hill in Middleborough, going over to different places in New Bedford. I remember going to Hallmark. I remember going to Hathaway Manor. I remember going to Royal Nursing of Cape Cod in Buzzards Bay. I remember going to Royal of Fairhaven. I remember going to Serenity Hill in Wrentham. That was a big place for me too. I remember going to Southeast Rehab in Easton. That was my other long time account. I'd played there for about 16, 15 years. Oh, actually, it was 16 since '99. And I remember going to do shows at the Fall River Jewish Home in downtown Fall River. And I also remember in Rhode Island doing Silver Creek Manor in Bristol, St. Elizabeth's in Bristol, Crestwood of Warren, and my personal favorite, if you saw my ranking, my list, the Warren Center in Warren, Rhode Island. That was by far a place that I just feel like I was able to, number one, bring what I had and showcase for the residents, but number two, I felt that I was kind of challenged there too. It was kind of like, hey, the Elvis thing's great, the cowboy thing is great, but can you do this? Can you do the biggest one being, can you do a 2-hour Christmas show on a Saturday morning? So that was, they really, in an indirect kind of way, they really pushed me to step my game up a little bit. But there was actually, I just thought of another one talking about the Warren Center. I remember there was a week where it was a tribute to the Red, White, and Blue that week. So I did a lot of Stars and Stripes, my patriotic show. That was actually the last nursing home week I did in 2017, literally the month and a half before I moved to Florida. And I had done the Warren Center, and I had done Sacred Heart of New Bedford, and I had done West Acres of West Bridgewater. Brockton, I'm sorry, Brockton. It was on the West Bridgewater line. And at West Acres in Brockton, and I had done, oh my goodness, I don't even remember. And, well, I'd done my usuals too, Taunton Nursing Home and Nemasket. So that was the last one that I'd done. But what was funny was in the midst of Nursing Home Week, I would sometimes get to do 3 shows in a day because somebody would book me for an evening show someplace that was not at a nursing home. So therefore, it had nothing to do with Nursing Home Week, but it just happened to fall during that week and gave me some extra gigs. And for those, I think of places like Canterbury Woods Assisted Living in Attleboro, which then later became Brookdale of Attleboro because they were bought by the Brookdale Assisted Living Company. They also had homes in Plymouth and Dartmouth where I'd played also. And the Anawan Grange in Rehoboth, Massachusetts on Route 118, the intersection of 118 and 44. I'd done an Elvis show, and I'd done Legends of Vegas once again right before I had moved. I'd also done in the past, as far as back to the nursing homes, I think those might have been the only oh no, there was another one. There was Pond Home, Assisted Living in Wrentham, which was literally right down the street from the other place in Wrentham that I played, Serenity Hill. And that was the one and only time I ever did Pond Home. For some reason, they brought me in that one time as Elvis, and then that happens sometimes, because it was just, whether it be scheduling or budgets or what have you, just different things happen at different times. But back to nursing homes, I remember going down to the Tremont in Wareham, and I remember going to Bourne Manor, and right over the Bourne Bridge on Cape Cod there, and I remember going to Summit Commons in Providence, and I remember going to Waterview Villa in East Providence. These were places that the beauty of National Nursing Home Week is it was guaranteed work. You knew you were going to play someplace. But like I said before, what gave me the advantage was I had such a variety of shows. But I could do a show at 10 a.m. just to, I don't remember everything exactly, but just to give you an example. I could do a 10 a.m. show in Middleborough, and then I could do a 2 p.m. show in Bristol, Rhode Island on Monday. Then Tuesday, I could do a 10 a.m. show in Wareham, and then a 2 p.m. show in Bourne. And then on Wednesday, I could do a 10 a.m. show in Wrentham and a 2 p.m. show in Attleboro. And then Thursday could be a 10 a.m. show in Warren, Rhode Island. And then I could do like a 2 p.m. in Bristol, Rhode Island, and then a 6 p.m. in Somerset, Massachusetts. This is the way it would go. This was the kind of trajectory that we'd be on. Then Friday, I could be over in Providence, Rhode Island at 10 a.m., and then at 2 p.m. be in another home in Providence, Rhode Island, and then be in Rehoboth for 6 p.m. So it was, it was a little crazy the way the scheduling went. And then Saturday, 10 a.m., I could be in, Fall River or New Bedford at 10 in the morning on Saturday, and then 2 p.m. close it out in Taunton, which that just, strangely enough, it happened that way every year. Every year, National Nursing Home Week would open in Middleborough and would close in Taunton. But everywhere in between would be different year to year. And I wish I could remember all the themes, but I remember those are the ones that stand out with me the most. And I just remember, actually, wait a minute, there was a luau theme one year too, because I remember that was the week that I did Jimmy Buffett every single solitary day of Nursing Home Week. So think about that for a second. 2 Buffett shows a day for 6 days. 12 Buffett shows in a week. So needless to say, if I didn't know the Jimmy Buffett songs before, I got to know him then. But he's one of my favorites, so yeah, it worked out very well. And that's my take on National Nursing Home Week. I really miss it, and had a good time with it. And I want to thank all those homes and all those activities directors and all those activities assistants. You all know who you are, for bringing me in on those all those years to do those wonderful shows and really just have a good old time. That's something that'll stay with me for a long time, and I'll never have again, because I'm only doing the singing part time, and I'm also older and fatter now, so I don't know if I can do that anymore, doing all those shows in a week. You figure 80% of my week was behind the wheel of my car. So it's, I could do it then. I don't think I could do it now. Pushing 50 now, so I don't think I could do it. But thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody. And look for these interview segments here on my YouTube channel. That's Solo Man 730. And who knows what we'll have for a topic next time. So be good. Everybody take care. And as my boss would say, see you real soon. Haha.